this period, both musically and in my head, if you like, is the most realistic period that I've been in for, and the most comfortable, if you like. I seem to be matching my music and matching my lifestyle and matching my wants. Everything seems to be going along a very honest and straight path now. When I came back from the last tour of America, I'd played to about 1 million people, and I was kind of fed up with the whole way I was projecting myself. The way that I'd gone, I wanted to kind of move over a bit. So I asked everyone who I knew who could write to begin writing backing tracks with this project in mind, just to make it much more Glastonbury and much less sort of high-tech. You know, much more sort of, I don't know, you know, I mean, I spend a lot of time on the Welsh borders now. I'm kind of retracing a lot of the steps that I was taking back in 72, 73, and visiting a lot of the sort of misty mountain situations that I remembered when I was that much younger. And I really feel I've got a lot of power out of it. I've got a real charge of creativity and focus out of going back to areas where I felt really drawn to all those years before. When I was a kid, I was strutting around the stage looking like a cockerel, you know, and that's okay, you know, that was all right at the time. It was a bit sort of obvious, but I seem to have done the most obvious thing because everybody else seems to have joined in. But there was always a tenderness in the Zeppelin lyric, and there's an attempt now to, and ever since, to kind of be caring. I don't know whether that makes you romantic. I don't think that's the same thing. But I do care a lot. I've always been agitated. I'm very impatient. I want to make music that makes a point of how I feel, how radically different I feel, how I want to distance myself from the kind of rock. And I've always, up until this record, made that the most important part of the project, to do something that's a bit radically different. There was a track on the last album which didn't go on Manic Nirvana called That Ain't Me Singing, It's Another Guy, which is like a kind of rap track with these girls singing the, about all these people skanking to the bank. You know, guys from various groups who sing a bit like I sing, and who make more of a meal of it, and who wiggle their asses a bit more and appeal to a certain brain. And this song was really, really funny, about renting a car at an airport and opening the door and finding that you put the radio on and that's me, but no, it's not me. And I think the thing about my solo career has been I've got nothing to lose, so I can say anything, do anything, I can tell you what I don't like, but I've stopped doing that. There's no point in having such an opinion about music that you start, you know, being derogatory towards certain vocalists or certain... I mean, I just basically don't like too much of the same old shit. There was no Led Zeppelin for a long time, I think, before John died. I think that the great thing about Zepp was that it was it was like a huge sort of incredible one-night stand. You know, it was like everything you could wish for on the first fantastic free date. You know, everything thrown in, every sort of altercation and every lust and every swing and every bit of truth. Then when you start thinking about it, it loses its plot. So I think being on my own has given me something that was really important through unfortunate circumstances, however, but nevertheless, you know, I've stood alone and I've been proud to stand alone, and I think it's great that, I mean, the legend has been dogging me all the way along the line, but that's all right. It's something to talk about, who cares? I mean, one thing's for sure, it wouldn't look very good now. I'd like to be successful on a bigger scale, I guess, because having been at least the king of my own penthouse suite for a day way back, I remember what it was kind of odd, and you don't really know how big things are when you're in the middle of it all, you know. But I would like aside from that and its ridiculousness, I'd really like now to get this thing as part of something that's going on right now, and it is very current to be, the sound of it feels like it's something that should be taken seriously. But then again, I'm a big Ed.